discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone. How's it going? This is Coach Matt here from Live by the Three Sports Podcast, joined by my co-host Tyler on this Wednesday evening, and exciting day of sports. But first and foremost, how's everything going with you, Tyler?
Good, man. How's everything going with you? How was your week?
Everything was good, man. Everything was good. Sports is getting starting to pick up. We'll jump into my good Sunday because my boys got one this weekend, but we'll talk about that a little bit. Once we get into the NFL side of things. So from a sports perspective, my week was really good. So glad we get a chance to chop it up this evening, and looking forward to an exciting show. So this is a new format that we're doing this year, this week I should say, due to some scheduling conflicts. It's just going to be the two of us, myself and Tyler, moving forward, and for at least the somewhat recent future, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But looking forward to a great show this evening. And so one thing I was happy to see that just happened a little while ago is the baseball regular season is over. So it's October, so that means it's playoff time. And the Mets, my squad, representing Queens, they clinched a wild card. They had it, they were playing really well this year in first for a while, but relinquished it a little bit. And but they ended up with the wild card, which is a good thing. And, locally, the Yankees, they clinched the division, so they play next week. And I know you're a Red Sox fan, so what's up with the Sox?
We're going to start off on a bad note, I see. We're going to start off with a bad note. Hopefully we get Aaron Judge. We got a lot of money available. Hopefully we'll steal him for the Yankees.
Listen, that would be insane. First of all, that would be insane. I know he's got some contract stuff going on, and obviously he deserves probably every nickel he's asking for.
And more.
Right, exactly. So he deserves it. So I just can't imagine them not figuring it out somehow. That would be a huge news story if after the year he's had that they still couldn't get it done with him. I could see the Yankees. I'm not a Yankees fan, but I could see them going absolutely nuts if they don't figure out a way to keep him in house, and let alone, going to the Red Sox. That would be just.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. They would go nuts. They would go absolutely nuts. I can't see it, but hey man, money talks. But like I said, he's earning every nickel, and like you said, probably even more so than what he's asking for. So it should be an exciting playoffs. But just real quick, I wanted to touch on your opinion, I guess, on there's this whole back and forth regarding his record and what he was able to accomplish with the home run record. And there's some people that feel that his record is a legitimate one because what the assumption is that he did it clean, right? With not in the steroid era, and at least to our knowledge, he's never tested positive for anything. So they're saying it's the true record versus the Barry Bonds and those guys that broke the records a couple decades ago now that had the home run record. So what's your take on that? Do you think that his record should be the one versus the guys that use the steroids, or do you think everybody should be in that same pool regardless?
That's a tough one. I think you can't take away from what Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and McGwire did. I know they said they took steroids, but you still got to go out and hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know. My take on that: everybody was doing it. They just, they was good already.
Right.
But I don't think it takes away from from their records at all. Okay. What Aaron Judge did was tough. He had the single season record.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it takes away. What do you think?
It's weird because it's like, so in that steroid era, right? So you could say the hitters were doing it, but the pitchers might have been.
No, the pitchers they were doing it.
Right. Roger.
Everybody was doing it.
Right. So if everybody's doing it, so in a way, yeah, it's an uneven playing field. But at the same time, if every other people are doing it, then how uneven is it really? right? And then you have the perspective of, I played baseball when I was younger, but you're talking about somebody hitting a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, being stronger, recovery time, and the things that steroids and HGH, all that stuff can do for you is a benefit for sure, but hitting a 95-mile-an-hour fastball is hard, period. Doesn't matter, So, it's not bodybuilding, it's not wrestling, there's still a lot of skill involved in that. So, you still had to hit them regardless of whether, how strong you got from the performance enhancing. But on the flip side of that, I do understand from a baseball perspective why they're forming it this way, because otherwise, then you're just encouraging people to cheat, right? If they say, oh, yeah, everybody's record is the same, and no, he didn't break the record, Barry Bonds has the record, whatever, then what incentive does it outside of getting caught and getting suspended and all of that, which should be a deterrent, but if you're going to celebrate those guys the same way that you celebrate the guys that allegedly aren't doing it, then what incentive does anybody have to not do it? So I get it from baseball's perspective why they frame it the way they do. I just don't know how much, it's going to have an effect, but how much effect does the steroids have on hitting home runs and things like that?
Well, I don't know if it's a record that anybody could get. Like,
right, for sure.
It's hard. But just like another question, like, would you take steroids if you were playing baseball?
Me personally, no, but not on a moral, not on a moral thing, but just to stick in the knee, and like, you know what I mean, like.
But think about it though. Look, you take steroids if you get caught,
right?
You get a 60 to 100 game suspension, but you're still making 200 mil.
Right, and come back, and and then I can see it also from the competition side of things. If a guy's like, hey, look, I'm just as good of a baseball player as such and such, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And they feel like that person's getting bigger contracts, that person's getting more notoriety, that person's getting more accolades, numbers, whatever. And they feel the reason why is because they're having this advantage. So maybe the competitive side of you says, well, I'm going to do it too, just so I can be seen in the same limelight as this guy, because I think I'm just as good as him. So maybe that's where it comes in, the competitive side of guys not wanting to be overshadowed by somebody they think they're just as good as, or maybe even better than. So that might play a part in it. And then you have the guys that didn't have that stigma over them, guys like Ken Griffey, and there were some players that still had good careers that didn't get accused of being involved in that stuff, whether they were or they and they didn't, whether they just didn't get caught. I guess we'll never know, but they still got their shine or whatever. But definitely the Barry Bonds and the Mark McGuire's, and Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa. Yeah, Mark McGuire. Yeah, base basketball, right? So they still got their shine, and their notoriety for what they were able to accomplish. But they got to live with what they did, and we'll see how that the Hall of Fame stuff. That's a whole nother discussion. But yeah,
they probably won't get in.
Yeah.
Did Barry get in yet? No, right?
No, he's not in. But that's the crazy thing about him. Like the guys that you're talking about. With the I don't know about Sammy Sosa, because I don't remember his career trajectory. I know he was a good player, but Barry Bonds was on his way anyway.
He was nice without the steroids.
Yeah, right. Mark McGuire, those guys, they were on there. Roger Clemens, they were on their way anyway. So it's just one of those things where it's like, does it erase their whole career? What they got caught doing after the fact, right? Because it wasn't even necessarily while they were playing. So. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's interesting, though. It's an interesting conversation for sure that's been going back and forth. So yeah. So yeah, now, you got anything else on the baseball stuff?
Nah, what do you think? You think we're going to get a Subway Series?
I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping so. The last time it happened, it was awesome. I was living in Philly at the time, but last time it was a Subway Series, but it's awesome, and being a New Yorker that, very few play, really there's no other city in America except for Chicago, right? That's the only one that has two teams because LA is, there's not two LA teams. There's the Dodgers and then there's the Angels. They're in Anaheim now, technically, but Chicago and New York are pretty much the only two cities that can say that. And I don't even know if the Cubs and the White Sox have ever played in the World Series. I'd have to look that up. Not that I,
I don't think so.
Maybe like back in the day, but yeah. But a Subway Series would be awesome. And it's interesting. Like people were talking about it earlier in the year when the Mets were clearly in first place. But I always feel like the Mets, just like the Jets, and them not winning the division, I always feel like the Mets kind of got to get it out the mud. Like I always feel like they're better as the underdog, and they have, like, when they have their magical season, it's not because they've been dominating all year and then just sweep through. It's always like they're kind of like that underdog. Oh, we don't know if they should be here type of thing, and then they just catch lightning in a bottle, and then the next thing you know, it's just like, wow, they're accomplishing something huge. So I feel like them not winning it, obviously you want to have the easiest road to get to the World Series as possible, but I think for them it's actually probably a little bit better for them to be kind of coming in, maybe underachieving a little bit of what people were thinking of maybe a month ago, and then all of a sudden they start surprising people. So we'll see, but it'd be awesome to have a Subway Series for sure.
Yeah, I think New York sports is back, man. I think we back for now. I think we back.
Yeah,
we got the Giants, we got the Jets, the Mets, the Yankees.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know about the Knicks. They 0-0 right now, so we good with them. The Nets gonna be good.
Yeah.
We looking good.
Yeah.
I think we looking good right now.
It's a good time to be a New York sports fan, but like I said, I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm not a Yankees hater, but I'm not a Yankees fan. I do not like the Giants, but they're doing well, so that's cool to see. But my boys, we got one this week. They pulled it out. Zach Wilson, first game back. He played great in the fourth quarter, but it was his first game back after being hurt. And defense showed up, and we got a big dub in Pittsburgh. So I was fired up this weekend. That made my weekend.
Yeah, I got a big game coming up too.
Real big.
Divisional first place. It could be first place.
Divisional game against the Dolphins. Home game, we'll Dolphins are playing well.
So who you like for that game?
Even though Dolphins lost last week, but so that'll make it even tougher, I think, because now they're coming off of a loss, and it's a divisional game, and conference rivals, so it'll be fun. I'll definitely be in front of the tube for that one.
How much you got the Jets losing by?
Here you go. Hey, listen, man. Tua is he was having a good year, so I'm not gonna knock him, but he's out now. Unfortunately, he took that two big hits, and so he's not playing this week. So we're going against Terry Bridgewater, and
Teddy's nice though.
Yeah. No, he's a good solid quarterback.
Teddy's nice. Teddy's nice.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater's a good QB, so it'll be interesting to see what he can.
Yeah, play at New York too.
Yeah, he played for the Jets for a little while. And so good quarterback. They got weapons, man. They got great wide receivers, great tight end. Defense is not as good as people thought it was going to be, but it'll be tough. But it's a home game, and we're coming off an emotional win. Coming out of winning in Pittsburgh is not easy. So we're we'll see. So I can't say how much we're going to lose by. I'll never go against my boys. Never go against my boys.
Then y'all go to Green Bay after that, so your season might be over real quick.
Listen, that's what they said. Oh, you guys are starting off in the AFC North. You're going to start off the season 0-4, blah, 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 blah. And then now
it's over.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, the game is not played on paper. The game is not. That's why they flip the coin every week. That's why they flip the coin every week. So. Yeah, listen. If it wasn't for that, there'd be no point in watching, right? So we'll see
that's
what's
true.
Up. We'll see what's
that's
up.
True,
so,
that's true.
But yeah, no, it was an interesting week in the NFL. So what were your thoughts on some of the other games?
Oh man, it was good, man. I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to the Giants and the Packers.
Yeah, no, Giants are playing well.
That's going to be a big game. I think the Packers is going to pull that out personally, but that's going to be a huge game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No,
That's going to be a huge game. What did you see the Seahawks and Lions game?
I didn't, but that was a high scoring game. That was a high
Yeah,
scoring
that was
game.
a high
They put
scoring
up a lot
game.
of points. No defense being played in that game. No
What do you
defense.
think? What do you think about the Ravens?
I mean, they've been up and down. You know, they've been up and down. They you know, the Bills are good though. You know, so it was a tough game. You got, you know, they had two similar style quarterbacks. You know, guys that can get out and run with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and it was a back and forth game. The Bills pulled it out, but they're two good teams. I mean, the Ravens, you know, should be, you know, a playoff team or at least right there. So it was a good win for the Bills, you know, who's looking strong, and they're talking about them possibly being a Super Bowl contender. So, you know, our division is tough. You know, the AFC East is a tough division. You got the, you know, the Dolphins are playing really well, and the Bills are playing well. So I hate the Bills a little bit more than I hate the Dolphins, but and the Patriots is definitely on that. They're number one, but
you don't like the Patriots?
No, not at all.
Why is that?
Because you know why? Because I went to school in Massachusetts, right? So I went to college in Massachusetts. So my first couple years there, the Patriots were still not good, right? So people did not claim to, even up there, you know, you didn't see the flags and all of that, you know, that, you know, my freshman year, it's around that. But I think around my sophomore year, and ironically, it was the Jets game that knocked Drew Bledsoe out and put Brady in, right? And then, you know, then they go in their run, right? Which you can't disrespect the 2-decade run that they went on for that after that, right? But then that's when you see all the Patriot flags and all that stuff like that. So I would, you know, so I was in New England when they weren't that good and people weren't repping for them like that. But then they get, you know, Brady and it starts to roll for them. And now all of a sudden, you know, you can't turn a corner in all of New England without a flag up somewhere. So I just know that they're a little bit hypocritical and a little bit front runnerish with that. And we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hurting my heart right now.
Listen, man. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Well, we'll see. I mean, listen, you're from New York and you're a Patriots fan, so I can't call you, you know, a bandwagon or anything like that. But now we'll see that they're, you know, I'm not going to say they're definitely on the decline, but if they do start to take a decline now, we'll see how strong that New England fandom truly is. We'll see, because I had to suffer through it a lot, man. A lot of people talking crap to me, you know, when I was up in, you know, especially because I'm from New York. Oh, brutal on me, but you know, and being a Jets fan didn't help. But you know, we'll see how long it lasts. We'll see. We will see.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Who you like for Super Bowl contenders?
Well, I mean, we talked about a couple of them. I mean, we talked about, you know, the Bills are going to be in there. You know, as a team that, you know, is looking really strong. The Dolphins also are a team that's looking really strong. I mean, they're loaded, you know, firepower wise. You know, so they can score with anybody. And then, you know, another city that, you know, I would say maybe my second home is Philadelphia. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm not going to claim the Eagles, but I lived in Philadelphia for 9 years. So, you know, I have a lot of friends that are Eagles fans that got to know you know, just the history and the fandom of that organization, which is crazy. Eagles fans that is, I will say that Eagles fans are not front running fans. Though Eagle fans are diehard. I will give them that. They're all about the Eagles. So you know, they're really strong. I mean, they're the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. I think I saw something earlier today that they're the only team in the NFL that hasn't been down once in the, you know, in the whole season. Like they've never trailed for the whole season. So so they're looking dominant. They're looking strong. And then the Cowboys have been playing, you know, they're another team. They're 3-1 and they're looking strong. They, you know, offensively, they're good. Defensively, they're very good. And the Giants have been
Cowboys.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a Cowboys fan. So,
neither.
So I would say, you know, the Bills, the Dolphins, you got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys. And then, you know, the Chiefs, you know, they still got Mahomes. They're still looking good. I mean, their offense is still, you know, they lost Tyreek Hill, but their offense is still really good. And, Mahomes is Mahomes, so that gives him a chance. So I would say those 5 teams, as it stands right now, are the teams that you might be looking at potentially in the Super Bowl. But still a long season to go. What do you think? What teams you like looking strong so far?
Eagles, which pains me to say, but Eagles looking good.
They are.
Giants are looking real good.
They are.
Hopefully they can get Odell. That'd be good for the Giants if they can get Odell.
They said he visited them. Well, they said it wasn't an official visit. He just came by to say what's up. It wasn't an official team visit, but there are rumors saying that he was kind of sniffing around to see if they would sign him.
Yeah, long as you keep Odell off the boat.
Off the boat, right? Yeah.
So, it'll be all right. The Dolphins looking good. Packers, you can never count Aaron Rodgers out, man.
Can't. Nope.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Tom Brady, of course. I know he's going through some, I guess, a divorce or whatever he's going through, but
we'll see.
Can't count them out.
No.
The Ravens, I think the Ravens could pull it out. The Bills is pretty good. I like the Bills. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. In the AFC, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. And the NFC, I might have to go with the Buccaneers.
Okay. Yeah, you might have to go with the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
right?
I might just, I can't bet against, can't bet against greatness. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a fool. And he's my favorite player, so it's like I gotta go until he retired. Then I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll become a Jets fan or something like that.
There you go. Listen, we'll bring you on board. We'll bring you on board.
But I think
the misery train.
Kansas City look good. They look real good.
They do. I mean, Andy Reid's a good coach. Andy Reid's a good coach. That he does a good job, and they and you got Mahomes. So yeah, they're always going to be in the picture. And well, just like anything, right? But it's in all sports, but with the NFL, I guess you could say maybe especially so, but not really. But injuries is always going to be a major factor, right? So everybody's looking good until a star player, knock on wood, because you never want to see anybody get hurt. But it's all fine, well, and good until somebody gets knocked out, and then seasons change real quick. So for now, those teams are looking really strong, but it's it's early, but it's a quarter of the thing about the NFL, because they only play so many 17 games now, it goes fast. So you look up and it's like, okay, we're a month into the season, it's already 25% done almost, pretty much. So 4 games in and 13 to go, so it goes by quick. So every game is really meaningful. Aren't any game? We talked about a couple of games going forward into next week. Talked about the Jets and the Dolphins being a good one, and you said it's the Packers and the Giants, right? That's
the Cowboys and the Rams. That's going to be an interesting game. The Bengals and the Ravens are good.
That's going to be a good one. Yeah.
What would you do with the? I know the Cowboys, man. What they going to do when Dak come back? Like, do you give him back the keys? Like, what? How would you handle that?
See, the quarterback thing in the NFL is so interesting, because it's, you always get that. Do you ride the hot hand, or do you bring back the guy? Right? You know what I mean? And that's it's a tough call. It's a tough call. I mean, personally, I think you're a coach. Man.
You're a coach. Give me a non-political answer. What do you do?
Again, I'm always going to go by feel. Like if I be my personal opinion as the coach, if I feel like the guy that's in there he's riding hot, I feel like you got to go with it. That's just, it's no disrespect. Obviously, injuries are a part of the game, and it's not that you're penalizing somebody for getting hurt, but if you're playing well, how do you take a guy out that's balling, even if the guy that he replaced is the guy, right? But if he's playing well and y'all are rolling, then yeah, I think you got to stay with it. It's a tough call, but that I think that's what you should do at least. Now, if the guy that was replaced is iffy, and then maybe y'all are doing okay, but you still feel like you're not up to the potential of the team, where the team should be, then yeah, I think you go back to the guy that you believe can get you to that point. But if y'all are rolling, then hey, I think I think you just gonna rock.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
If they kept Dak on the bench and they just rolling. Could you imagine?
Yeah, and that's the other thing too within pro sports is because I guess like how do you justify, and then especially if you're talking about the Cowboys, you got an owner like Jerry Jones, right? Who wants to win, right? Wants to win for sure. But then how do you justify like, yo, we're paying this dude a lot of money and y'all got him on the y'all got him on the bench. So how do you know what I mean? Like how do you justify that? That if he calls down, be like, yo, man, we're paying this dude a lot of money, get him in there. I mean, what do you do?
Then you put him in there, and Dak start doing what Dak do, and then you got Cooper Rush on the sideline looking at him like,
yeah, you're right.
Like
and then,
you lose the locker room, like a lot can happen.
Absolutely, that's a big part of it too, right? Like if the guy, like you said, if the team is having success and the vibes are good and guys are feeling it and they're rallying around this guy, and and they're winning, because again with the NFL, right? Some of it is financial. So yeah, you might be paying this one dude a lot of money, but guys are getting playoff bonuses and yardage bonuses and all that. So if I'm a receiver and I'm like, yo, I'm getting a bonus if I get over a certain amount of yards, and I'm balling out with the guy that's throwing it to me, and I'm on my way to my hitting my incentives and my marks and stuff like that, I might be like, yeah, he cool, but let's keep rocking with this dude.
That's going to be because I don't know, man. Because if he, that'd be bad. That'd be bad if he come back and Dak just do what he does. Yeah, that'd be bad.
I'm looking at the comments real quick. So I'm looking at my man Shone. He's saying Jets need to do something. We're gonna do something. Don't worry about it. We're gonna show up. I have faith in my boys.
Is he you a Giant fan, Sean?
Yeah, he must be, because
he might be a Giant fan.
Yeah. Actually, he said, hate to say it, Giants looking good, and then he said the Cowgirls going down this week. So I can't really figure out what.
He might be an Eagles fan.
Yeah. He might be an Eagles fan, or
he might be a Jet fan too. I don't know.
Maybe he's a Commanders fan.
If he's a Commanders fan, we got to boot him. From the chat.
Okay. I see you.
You a Jet fan? You a Jet fan?
You're a Jets fan. Okay. I see you. Listen, that's a. I'm gonna say it's a lonely group, but that's a misery loves company. So
group.
That's my squad, though, man. Listen. People, every time I tell somebody like I'm a Jets fan, they're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, man, but that's my squad. I'm not giving them up. They drive me crazy." But never a Commander fan. I hear you.
That's what's up. What else we got? The Raiders got the Chiefs. Chiefs should beat them easily. That shouldn't be a problem. The Lions been playing well.
They have been.
They've been playing very good, exciting football. Yeah. Even though they've been losing, they've been playing well.
But they're in games. And they play. They play with some fight. They play with some spirit. And they have some good young talent. So, okay, we got another Jets fan in the building. See, now we're coming out. Yeah, now we're starting to see
Drippy
the support.
Billionaire.
Yeah, let's go.
My man, Drippy Billionaire.
Okay.
You see the merch.
Representing. Okay.
Drippy Billionaire.
So that looks like, to me, Tyler, that looks like an invitation. Once your man retires, it's looking like you got some connections and some good reasons why, you might want to jump on. You know what I mean? Once he's out of there, we'll welcome you.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know it's going to be a lot of room. I do know. It's going to be a lot of room for me.
But you say that now, there might not. If we get this thing turned around by the time Brady retires, there may not be a lot of room. It might be, you know what I mean? You might say, "Oh, no, we're good."
Nah, you're not gonna get it. Come on, you got Miami, you got Buffalo in the division.
No, it's gonna. I will say that it's going to be tough the next couple of years, because that's the other thing too. Is young talent in the league. It's not just like, all right, they veteran squads that are like loading up. The Bills have young talent, and the Dolphins have young talent. So. It'll be from okay. We got a Commanders fan all the way from Cali. Okay, Blaze.
That's my man Blaze. Shout out to my man Blaze.
Okay. All right.
Shout out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting though. The NFL.
The Vikings looking good too. They 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking good too.
Yeah, no. It's it, and we offline we talked about it. It's been. Obviously, it's early, right? But there's been a lot of parity in the league. There's only one team that's undefeated, which is the Eagles, and there's only one team that hasn't gotten a win yet, which is the Texans. They have a tie, but they have a tie and 3 losses. So they're the only team that hasn't won. So they it's been a lot of parity, a lot of 2-2 teams, a lot of 3-1 teams. So no dominant team has besides the Eagles have jumped out, and even the teams that maybe haven't been as strong have gotten 1 or 2 wins. So far it's been competitive across the board. So it should be an exciting season. All the wild card races will come down to the stretch run. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. It looks like we're at the halfway mark.
Yeah. Looks like we're at the halfway point. So I guess we'll get ready to take a short break, and then we'll be back for the second half of the show, and we'll jump into some NBA stuff. That sound good?
Yep, I'm with it.
All right.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Who's that?
Welcome back to Live by the 3 Sports Podcast with your hosts, Coach Matt and Tyler. Had a great segment talking about the NFL. So now let's jump into the NBA. The NBA season is going to start a little less than 2 weeks now. Because it starts the 18th. So they're in preseason right now, and starting to see some games on the tube a little bit, so get some early looks at the preseason, and it'll be interesting.
Who you like?
The season hasn't started yet, but on paper, there's some teams that are looking pretty strong, and it should be. NBA season is always interesting, and the same thing, like I talk about, injuries have played a big part over the last couple of years in how some teams have fared. Throughout the season, but on paper, there's some teams that are looking pretty strong. Obviously, it might be too early to talk about championship contenders, but that's what we do. We give our opinion on what we think could happen, right? So I think there's some teams that look really strong on paper. You got the Clippers out there who weren't necessarily healthy last year, but they still got Kawhi, still got Paul George. And then they added John Wall.
Yes, they did.
That's a wild card right there, because obviously
chip on his shoulder.
Extremely talented dude. And
that's a huge pickup.
That is. And from what I've been, what I heard, he was going through some mental health stuff, with injuries, but then some mental health stuff, and saw a couple things that he's feeling a lot better now, and he's ready to get after it. And that's, from a talent standpoint, if they can stay healthy physically and mentally, that's a lot of firepower. And they have some good role players also, some 3-and-D guys that, spread the floor and get stops on the other end. So they could be really strong if they could put it all together. So you got them. Obviously, you got the returning champs, the Warriors, who still have their core nucleus is still intact. Still got Steph, still got, Klay Thompson, who is 1 year removed from coming back from his surgery and everything, was able to contribute to the championship last year, but I don't think anybody would say that was Klay, right? That played last year. So, with another off season, hopefully he gets his legs fully back under him. Still got Draymond Green. So they know how to play, they know how to play together. Those, that
speaking, let me cut you off. Speaking on Draymond Green, he about to get suspended.
Oh, what do you do?
He just punched Jordan Poole in practice. They said he about to get suspended. He said he crossed the line.
That dude, man. I mean, listen, I will say this about him. He doesn't channel it the right way all the time, but and I don't know what caused the fight. Who knows? It could have been some left field stuff. But the one thing I will say about him is, if you're not towing the line of what they're trying to do, he will check you. You know what I mean? For better or worse. Now, I'm not about necessarily falling off and hitting your teammate per se, but he's the enforcer on for his team, for the other team, and within his team. Like they told Kevin Durant, look, we don't need you, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's not many people that will do that, for better or worse. Now, maybe that necessarily wasn't the right thing to do, but for better or worse, he's not going for it, man. If you're not about the program and what they're trying to do, he's not, for no pun intended, he's not pulling any punches. That's for sure. He will let you know.
We got some activity in the chat. Drippy saying relax. Drippy is a LeBron fan, and Shone is talking about the Nets are going to win. They had their shot. And Kyrie got hurt. I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So Brooklyn on a full player, full schedule, no injuries. We taking the chip. Okay, so we got a couple of they're going back and forth. We got one. Sean's not a Brooklyn believer. Sean is a Brooklyn believer. Drippy's not buying it. Okay. Drippy's a LA Lakers fan. He's a LeBron fan.
Okay. All right. Minnesota's trash. Yeah, so you got those teams between the who we talked about. We talked about the Clippers. We talked about the Warriors, right? And then you still got the Celtics. They have a little drama with the organization and the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
But from that standpoint, they're still there, and they made the final. They Captain, it's a really nice guard piece for them that can solidify their backcourt. And I would say, this is me on the outside looking in. I don't know anything about the internal workings of the team, but from the outside looking in, if I felt like they could use a really strong point guard, because I don't know how much Jason Tatum and Brown like playing with each other.
I don't think they like each other either.
That's the vibe. That's the vibe that I get just by watching them. That they don't necessarily, it's like my turn, your turn type of thing. And so if they have another strong guard out there that can kind of balance that out and make guys, get everybody their shots and not, keep them from trying to go 1-on-5 every time down the floor to try to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can be really dangerous, and Malcolm Brogdon can do that for them. Hopefully, he can do that for them. Obviously they had the experience of going to the finals last year, so they'll hopefully come. They come back, and if they can have somebody that has that common influence to make sure those guys play the right way offensively, then that gives that'll give them a chance. Obviously, the Bucks, another team didn't get talked about last year. Obviously, they lost Middleton to an injury. Was a huge that's their Robin, and he's one of the best in the league, at that. So
they probably gonna be in the finals again.
They very well could be. Now, I will say, I don't know if their role players and their bench is as strong as it was when they won it 2 years ago. They lost a couple of guys off that team, but they can. Drew Holiday, really good. Probably I would say maybe one of the most underrated players in the league. He's a good player, man. He's a really good player. So I think if they bring Middleton back, they'll be in the mix for sure. And then another team that we talked about a couple weeks ago, who again injury bug got them. The Nuggets. They have a good squad. They're talented. Jamal Murray's a really talented player. He's really good. He struggles to stay healthy, but he's a really talented player. You got the Joker, who's, he's one of the best players in the NBA. Just flat out, can't deny that. And then you got guys like Michael Porter, the talented guy, Aaron Gordon. So they have talent. So if they can keep everybody on the floor and healthy, which has been a big if for them, a chance to be good. So so that's who
I think on Memphis paper is ready yet?
Has a chance. What's that?
You think Memphis is ready yet?
They lost. I'm a Ja fan. I like the way he plays. I like his demeanor. I like how he attacks the game.
Said Houston? Hold on a second. Time out.
Yeah.
Sean said Houston.
Houston at the Astros?
I don't know what he's talking about. Houston who?
The Astros, baby. They ain't the Texans, and I don't know about the Rockets, man.
Come on, man. Come on. Houston. Come on, the West is loaded. You say Houston. Okay, Sean. Okay. I like Minnesota.
Yeah, I like.
They're
I
gonna
think
be
they
tough.
have good young talent. Very good young talent.
Minnesota's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm. Very good young talent. Yep. No, I agree. That I don't know
they're
if
gonna
they're
be
at
tough.
that championship level yet. They might need. See, that's the thing too, right? Like what I was about to say was, they might need like a little veteran presence to get them, to that next level. Like a guy that's been there and can kind of show those young guys the ropes and what is really. But I don't even know if dudes listen to that anymore. You know what I mean?
They dogs though. They got
they are. No, they are.
Dogs.
Edwards is dog. Carl Anthony Towns is a dog. Like they got good players, and then they added Gobert. Like they have talent.
Yeah,
man. They have talent.
Yeah, they dogs. I don't know.
Oh, the Minnesota picked up Blake Griffin?
The Celtics. The Celtics.
The Celtics. Okay. I didn't see.
Yeah, but that ain't no big pickup. I mean,
it gives see. I don't. Well, what I don't know is that maybe guys in the chat could say I don't know what type of teammate Blake Griffin is. Either way, like I'm not saying he's not a good. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's. You put him on a squad. He's obviously been in the league for a long time, but I don't know if he's like that type of veteran that you bring in that will sit those guys down and try to get them on the same page and talk the right things in the locker room and get I don't know if he's that guy. I don't know if he is or he isn't.
Yeah, I don't see him as that guy.
Yeah. Because that's what I think. What's my man's name? Shooting center. Why is it escaping me now?
From where?
Played at Florida. Been in the league forever.
At Florida?
Yeah. Plays on the Dominican national team. That's bad. I'm forgetting.
Oh, Carl Anthony Towns?
No. For the Celtics.
Oh, Horford.
Yes. Horford, right? Al Horford, right? So, I think he tried to do that for those guys, and it was working for a time. And then I feel like once they got to the finals, they was like, all right, man, that's enough. Like we ain't trying to hear this. This is the finals. I'm trying to get it, I think that's, and then when it got to a point where you could see, you would see him in the other rounds of the playoffs, he's talking to guys and, out on the floor and on the bench and stuff like that. Then it seemed like once it got to the finals, it was just like, he was like, all right, man, these dudes ain't listening. Like they're on their own thing right now. So, yep. Now I appreciate that, DW. Yeah, his name escaped me for a second. Yep. So Drippy feels like the Timberwolves are going to be in there. Okay, can't say. Drippy go, all right. He said, "What you drinking tonight? How can you say Houston?" Well, maybe educate me. I don't even know who does Houston have on their roster.
I don't know. I mean, do I need to go really look, or are you really going to go look?
We got people in the chat. We got to acknowledge it. So maybe there's something we don't know.
They got Jalen Green. He's good.
Talented, little nutty, but he's talented.
They got Maurice Harkless. He's all right.
Okay. Queens kid. Got a rep for him.
I'm not sure. I just see. I don't know who else they got. I don't know none of these guys. I probably could suit up. For them.
Well, I get Mo Harkless
Eric
is
Gordon.
He
still play with him. You got Kenyon Martin Jr. He's good.
Okay.
He's young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just a waste of 5 seconds. Yeah, they don't got nobody.
So
Kevin Porter's good though. Kevin Porter's good.
He is. Yep.
Kevin Porter's good.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Drippy said, "Watch out for the Cavs in the East." Yeah, Cavs got talent. They do.
Yeah, the Cavs are gonna be good.
They do. They'll make it interesting in the East. I don't know if that championship contender level, but they have talent. They do.
So Sean, you got Houston making the playoffs? You see what he say about that? Houston making the playoffs. Because I don't even think the Lakers are gonna make it this year.
It's gonna be tough in the West for sure.
Yeah, I don't even think the Lakers are gonna make it. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think they're gonna make it at all. You think Westbrook's gonna make it through the whole season?
Russell Westbrook, as far as like you being on the roster,
the Lakers. Yeah, with the Lakers.
But what did he sign for? Like 40? Like how much is he getting a year?
He might be getting 40 something.
Because he got an extension and a bump, right?
I think it might be 40. No, I don't think he got a bump. I think he might have got a bump. They exercised his 47.1 million for the
47 a year, right?
47.
So
it's the final year. His final year
right.
of the contract.
So it's for 1 year, right? But I mean, obviously, there's going to be there's always going to be. But who?
Now, Shone, backtrack it. Maybe next year.
but say so it's his final year of his contract. But even so, like, who would want to pay him 47 if they're going to trade him? Who's going to take on that contract, even if it's for a year? You know what I mean? Like, why would you? Because how
47 million?
$47 million.
Yeah, that's great. You remember when Jordan fought for 30 million?
Right.
For that 2-year contract for 30 million, 47.1 million.
I mean, and technically, right? If you look at their roster, I mean, he's their third best player, right? And he's a third best player, and he's getting 47 million. But you say that, but that's if Anthony Davis, stays healthy, which is a huge if. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but he got that contract not, before he got to the Lakers. He just so happened that they inherited that. I don't think he would have got 47.1 million with the Lakers if he was there for 7 years or something like that.
Not for that. Not for what he's doing. No.
Nah.
That's MVP money, which he was. He has been a league MVP, but not. He's not. No. 4 players and 10 ball boys.
But he's definitely a Hall of Famer, though.
He is. That's
He's definitely. You can't dispute that. He's definitely a Hall of Famer.
He is. He's got the numbers to do it, and he's won an MVP. Pretty much, if you win an NBA MVP, you're gonna get in the Hall of Fame. All it takes is one. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be that way. I'm just saying, like, yeah, if you win an MVP, you're solidified. You're getting in, and he has. So I can't knock his numbers. Not my cup of tea as a player, but can't knock what he did.
What you don't like about his game?
He's been masquerading as a point guard and claiming that title for his whole career, and I don't think he's ever shown that that's what he wants to do. And so that's on his game part itself, and then also I don't think his style of play is not conducive to winning, and I don't think he cares. Not that he doesn't care about winning, but he's like one of those people, like, I'm going to do it my way. I don't care what you say. What's that?
What about, would you take him over Chris Paul?
No. Even Chris Paul has I'm not going to say his faults. Chris Paul, again, another MVP, another guy. Well, no, Chris Paul ever win MVP? No. So, okay, not MVP. But Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer, right? Now, does he come up small in moments and stuff like that? Sure. But I would much rather have when you watch Chris Paul play, at least you have, as a coach, right? You would say, okay, at least I have an idea what he's going to do. For better or worse, I have an idea what he's going to do. Russell Westbrook has the ball in his hands. You have no clue what's going to happen on that possession. No, and that's scary. To me, that's scary. You see somebody with the ball in their hand a lot, and you got no idea what they're about to do with it. As far as it could be the greatest thing in the world or the worst thing in the world, that's scary. So
yeah, that is true.
So
that is true.
Yeah. So no, I would not. I would take Chris Paul.
Well, we got like 12 minutes. Let's go into the start cut bench phase. Who you got?
Okay.
Let's see if we get the chat active.
Yeah, let's get the chat active. Okay. So the one that I saw online this year, it was a start bench cut. And the one that I saw was it was Ja Morant. It was Damian Lillard and Trae Young. So you have to start one, bring one off the bench, or cut one off your team. So with those three guys, who are you starting, who are you benching, and who are you cutting?
Well, Trae Young is definitely getting benched.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to start Dame Dollar and bring Moran off the bench.
Okay. That's
who
fair.
You got?
That's fair. So I would do. Wait, well, no. Hold on. I think you said two benches. I don't think you cut anybody. Who'd you cut?
No, I would cut Trae Young.
You cut Trae Young. Okay. All right. So I'm going with DW. That's a thought I had. I would start Ja, I would bench Dame, and I would cut Trae. Now, from a numbers standpoint, Damian Lillard, can't argue with it. He's a really, really, really good player. I like his game a lot. Think he's about the right things. I like what he's trying to do. We'll see if he can try to do it for his whole career, but at least for now, he's standing strong. He's trying to win a championship on his terms. He's not trying to jump on, anybody else's squad. I respect it. I just like Ja Morant's game. I don't, I just like the way he plays. I like his potential. I like his attitude. I like his approach. So, and that's not to say that I don't like those things about Damian Lillard. I just, for whatever reason, I just like Ja even when he was in college. I was a fan. I would start Ja, bring Dame off the bench, and Dame's a little bit older too, so he can go back up while we figure it out with Ja. And Trae Young, good player, puts up great numbers. Yeah, he's just, he got a little, I like those other two. Not to say he doesn't have dog in him, but those other two have more than him. I'll put it that way.
I got three for you.
Okay.
Start, bench, cut. Luka, Steph Curry, James Harden.
So I'm cutting James Harden. Whew. I'm a Steph fan, but I like Luka too. That's a tough one. You know what? I would have to say I'll start Steph just because he's been there and won at the highest multiple times. So I'll say I'll start Steph, bench Luka, and cut James Harden.
Okay.
What would you say?
Oh, I would. That's tough. Well, James Harden would definitely get cut. I don't know.
All three of them don't play no D. That's for sure.
Yeah, I probably would start Luka and have Steph come off the bench.
Okay. I honestly, that's like that's apples. It's close from I like Luka. He's got a lot of game. I like.
I got my last one.
Okay.
Kevin Durant, Kawhi, and the Greek Freak.
I would cut Kawhi just because he's always hurt. Okay, I mean he's talented and he
all of them suffered injuries though. Just throwing it out there.
What's that?
All of them have suffered injuries.
They have. I mean Durant, I wouldn't say Durant is injury prone. He had the bad one, right? Top of the Achilles. That's a bad one. But but I can't say he's necessarily injury prone. You know what I mean? He had a bad one, but with Kawhi is just it seems like it's somewhat chronic at this point. And then Giannis, he's a beast. So I would cut Kawhi just for injury's sake, not talent or anything else. And then between with Giannis and KD, I like KD's game and he's super talented, but I just like Giannis's motor. So I would start Giannis, bring KD off the bench, and not to say that Giannis is a better player than KD, but I like the way Giannis goes at it. So I would say Giannis start, KD off the bench, and cut Kawhi. Okay, DW, me and you, we're I think we're on the same page. We're 3 for 3, me and you, DW. How about that?
Okay, I got one more. Let's see if y'all can get this one. Let's see if y'all on the same page. Chris Middleton, Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan, yeah.
So I'm gonna say that one more time. I'll make sure I got that right.
Chris Middleton, DeMar DeRozan, Devin Booker.
like I would say Middleton off the bench, DeMar DeRozan, and
who you cutting though? Who you cutting?
DeRozan.
You cutting
He's
DeRozan?
good. He's good.
Ooh, that's tough.
Middleton,
Over,
like Middleton.
who else you got?
My man, listen, Devin Booker, he's talented, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like some days he looks but he is talented, man. And I don't think he's
over Rosen?
Yeah. DW, me and DW, we're linked up, man. That's 4 for 4. We're 4 for 4 today.
DW might be one of your players, man. No, man. We might to get him on the show, man. He might be one of your players, man.
That's my man tonight. And now let me go back and make sure. Is he a Jets fan too? Let me see. I don't know if he was in the chat with it or not. He not. Oh, he talking about Buffalo and Giants in the Super Bowl. Okay, so yeah, NBA we're good, man. But you know your football takes, I can't rock with you on that. But basketball, we're in sync. We're in sync. We're in sync. Okay, I got one for you. I got one for you. All right, so we're going old school right here. Sort of old school is one current player. So one shot for the dough. One shot for the dough. Going to be a 3. Down 2 for the dough. Start, bench, cut. Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Steph Curry. One shot for the dough. Game-winning basket.
All right, cutting. I'm cutting Steph. I got Ray Allen coming off the bench, and I got Reggie Miller starting. Who you got?
I'm debating whether I'm cutting Steph or Ray Allen. Because to me, I feel like, I'm not saying they're equal as players, but I feel like their circumstances are. You know, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you. I'll say DW. We went off course. You starting Ray Allen over Reggie. He said start Ray Allen over. Come on, man. Ray Allen, hell of a player, right? And when he was in Milwaukee, he was that guy. And when Seattle, he was that guy. But all his game-winning baskets, all the threes he knocked down with the Celtics and, you know, with the Heat, he wasn't the guy. He wasn't. He was the third or fourth option, and then guys forget about him, and then he knocks one down. And he made some tough ones, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't the guy. Reggie Miller,
Reggie was a killer.
Every single person, the defense, everybody in the world knew where that ball was going, and he still delivering. So that's, you know, one shot, Reggie Miller, one shot for the dough. I'm going with Reggie. You know that, and then the benching and the cutting. I'm gonna go with Steph. I'm gonna bench Steph and cut Ray. I know that's blasphemous. I know Ray Allen's the all-time leader in made threes. I get that, but
Jason Kidd is up there too, though.
He is. He
might be like top 2.
He's up there. I don't know. Did he pass Reggie too? I know in made threes, which was crazy because, you know, it came from that, and that's to his credit because he was not a good shooter when he first came.
No, he's not he's like 7th. Dan Jamal Crawford is up there.
I mean, top 10 from where he started to top 10. That's not Drippy said the Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, everybody else.
I agree. I don't know how you picked. You cut Rosen and you kept Booker.
I like Devin Booker's game, man. I just like, you know, DeMar DeRozan. Listen, but all those guys are good. Middleton's good. I like Middleton's game. Mm-hmm. I like DeMar DeRozan's game. I like Devin Booker's game though. Shone, you right, man. That Reggie Miller start benching, Ray Allen's out of there. I agree.
Man, we got about 30 seconds left in the show.
Yeah. It looks like we're wrapping up here, but it was a fun show. It was a fun show. Shout out to everybody in the chat for chiming in
Shout out,
their opinions. Definitely, added to the show. And
yeah,
appreciate.
I felt like the Migos, man.
Yeah,
we the Migos, man. Offset ain't with us no more. I don't know if you will be Quavo, I'll be Takeoff. I feel like the Migos, man.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap on that note. We're gonna wrap on that note. But appreciate everybody coming by live by the 3 Sports Podcast.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Matt. Tyler, appreciate it. Have a good evening. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.